Hi everyone, I hope you guys are keeping well. In this video, we're going to progress our workout routine for L4, L5, L5S1 disc bulges and sciatica pain to an advanced routine. If you've been following my channel, in the last couple of weeks, I've uploaded two videos which we start with a beginner workout routine and then we progress them to intermediate routine. And in this video, finally, we have an advanced routine. If you're suffering from L4, L5, L5S1 disc bulges or sciatica pain, these routines can be a great progression for you from your rehabilitation routine to a workout routine. Make sure to look at the first two videos that I uploaded already if you haven't started yet. Let's get started. If you've never been in this channel, my name is Bob, I'm a physical therapist, and the purpose of this channel is to help people like yourself with simple tips and exercise for quicker recovery. Make sure to subscribe my channel for my weekly update and don't forget to press that like button. Before we start this routine, I'm going to answer one of the main questions that you've been asking me in my two previous videos, that how quickly I can progress from a beginner to intermediate or advanced routine. You basically need at least within 3 to 4 weeks to progress these routines to an advanced or intermediate routine. And the reason behind that is every single person has a different basically body type, different type of injury, and based on that, you got to listen to your body. In some cases, you may need even up to 6 weeks to be able to progress them to the next level. In that case, I would definitely suggest you to listen to your body, be patient, practice these techniques and exercise day by day and learn them by heart. And in that case, that minimizes the flares up in the future. Alright guys, in this routine, I'm gonna start the warm up basically with some flexion from the lower back all the way down, and we basically gonna progress it from the previous routine to this routine. I'm gonna show you how to do it and you can give it a try. Now, while you're doing this warm-up routine, you gotta follow your own range, and if you can't really go all the way down, that's totally fine, and you can slowly build it up. I'm gonna show you an easier version as well, and you can follow my guide, okay? Now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna start with the feet, shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit wider, bring your toes slightly out, and what we're trying to do, we're trying to basically flex forward and bring the hands as far as you can down to the ground, and we're going to come back up. Now, if you find this movement is too much, you can go as far as you can down and come back up. Now, if I show you from the side, in the previous routine, I show you how to do hip hinge. This is not a hip hinge. Basically, you're trying to relax your upper back and lower back and slowly go to the point that you can go down and coming back up. Don't rush it to coming back up. You want to take your time and slowly build it up. You want to breathe out and breathe in. As you can see, I can progress it down to a gentle squat. I relax my lower back. Breathe in and breathe out. If you find going too low is difficult, go towards the range that you can do and take your time and slowly build it up. Breathe in. That would be the first move that I would like you to start this warm up basically. We're gonna move on to the second movement for the warm up, which is a lunge movement. In this movement, you can definitely feel that actually you've been progressing from simple exercise to something a little bit more advanced. For the lunge movement, I would always highly suggest my clients to hold on to something if you find lunging movement is not very comfortable and balanced. For that matter, I'm gonna show you from the side, which means you're gonna still keep your foot shoulder width apart. And when you're creating the movement, I'm gonna show you the movement and I'm gonna simplify it for you. Basically gonna go down to the lunge movement and push back. Change legs. You're pushing through these legs and push back. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Push through the front leg. And breathe in. Back is relaxed. Now, if you find this is a little bit difficult, you can use your hands here and get some balance. And come back. Change legs and back. This movement can help you to literally pick up things from the ground in real lifetime basically activities. If you find the movement is a little bit challenging for you, go to the range that you feel comfortable, which means make a mini lunge and come back up. I'm going to show you from the side, which means you make a smaller, shorter steps and lean forward, slowly control and back. While you're doing this movement, you need to engage your core and you feel that stretch on your hamstring. Breathing in and out, don't hold your breath, and that helps you to actually engage your core as well. Give it a try and let me know how you're getting on. We're going to move on to rotation movement, which is always part of my program, and the reason behind that is that we don't always do things in a frontal or sagittal plane, which means we always create some rotation, and in many cases people create some flares up as soon as they create that rotation because we don't do them that often. I'm going to show you how to progress the rotation movement. In this movement, we're going to basically be on a kneeling position, and while you're there, you're trying to get that elbows as far as you can. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, and breathe out. Breathe in, and breathe out. As you can see, I'm following my hands with my neck. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Now, while you're doing these movements, when you're on a kneeling position, that basically stabilizes your hip. And if you're suffering from L4, L5, L5S1 disc bulges, you don't have any other choice of rotation from your thoracic spine. Our thoracic spine can definitely be a good help for you if you basically retrain it and get that range of movements there. This exercise can improve your range of movements on upper body, and while you're doing it, try to focus on your breathing. You don't want to hold your breath. After you're finishing your warm-up routine, guys, we're going to move on to our workout routine, and in this advanced exercise routine, we're going to focus on the core and glute activation. This routine basically going to help you to reduce your pain if you're suffering from sciatica pain or L4, L5, L5S1 disc bulges, and also help you to engage your core and strengthen your core. With activating your glute muscle, you create more basically movement and strength in your gluteal area, which is very beneficial for people who are suffering from sciatica pain or L4, L5, L5S1 disc bulges. The first exercise is going to be push-up pike, which we're going to finish them with back extension. I'm going to show you how to do it and you can give it a try. You're going to basically go in a push-up position, and what we're trying to do, we're trying to, from this movement, from here, go to the pike, and we're going to go down to the push-up and bring it up to the back extension. Slow down, breathe in and breathe out. Then you're going to go back up to the push-up, go to the pike. If you can't do that, that's fine. Slowly down, breathe out, and bring it to slight back extension. Your hip gonna be still on the ground. Slow down, breathe in, and bring it up. Yeah, hold it there for a second. Breathe in. Bring it up to back extension. Now, as I mentioned, this is the advanced version. If you find push-ups are difficult, what you can do, go for a kneeling push-up, which means you do the same thing, slow, and come back up. Come back up on kneeling. Breathe in. And bring it to a back extension. Slow down. You can basically practice this move for 3 sets of, I would say 5 would be a really good start, and slowly build them up to the 8. Don't rush it with the repetition. The movement and that control is the most important thing. In this movement, you're engaging your core, you're creating movements on the lower back, and you're ending up in back extension, which is really beneficial if you're suffering from sciatica pain or L4, L5, L5S1 disc bulges. This exercise can be a really good progress for you from the initial videos. The next exercise that I'm going to show you guys is going to be bend over row with the resistance band, which is a great exercise for your core. At the same time, you're activating your upper body muscle group, which can be a really good challenge. I'm going to show you how to do it and you can give it a try. You can pick up a type of resistance band that you have available at home. I have these black colors. They're pretty much strong one, but you can pick up the one that you feel comfortable. You got to basically stand on them, feet shoulder width apart, and as you can see, if I come from the standing point, I'm creating a hip hinge as I showed you on the first video, and I'm standing in that hip hinge and pushing my hip out, which means I'm sitting on my hip, and these are the muscles that I can feel them that are getting stretched. Adjust my hands from the place that you want to hold the band, keep the hip hinge nice and tall, and push that back. Stretch it. As you can see, my upper back and my lower back is stable. I'm pulling my elbows close to my body and squeezing my 2 shoulder blades at the back. Slow down and back again. Breathe in and out. Keep your back stable and slow down. You can try this exercise for 3 sets of 8 to 10. I'm going to show you from this view as well. I'm looking that angle. I'm not looking down. Keep the neck and back and spine stable. Slow control down and back again. And back down again. Now, this is a great version of pull movement for you because you're literally engaging your core while you're doing it. You might feel a little bit of challenge on the lower back, and that's exactly what we're looking for. Try this exercise for 3 sets of 5 to 8. Progress them to 10 and you can feel the differences. If you're suffering from L4, L5, L5S1 disc bulges or sciatica pain, this exercise can engage your core at the same time activate your upper body, which in many cases is a challenge for people. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to focus in this routine on glute activation as well. I'm going to basically use a resistance band, loop resistance band that can be used for this exercise. Now, I'm going to show you the exercise and you can give it a try. We're going to go for side kick in a standing position. In this movement, we're activating our gluteus medius, which is the external rotator of your basically hip. And what we're going to do, we're going to stand in one foot and create that kick for the side. Slow control back and forward. We're going to try for 3 sets of 5 in each side. As you can see, I'm trying to look in one place to keep my balance control. 5, and then I change legs. Slow down. 4, and 1 more, and 5. I'm going to show you from the side. If you find your balance is not comfortable, hold on to somewhere in the kitchen. That would make a huge difference, and you can give it a try. 2, slow, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to turn other side, give it a try. 1, good. 2, you can feel it around here. 4 and 5. Now, these colors bands are based on color. The resistance is different. Try to pick up the one that you feel comfortable to do. Get the full range. You don't want to challenge it too much. Slowly build up from 3 sets of 5 to 8, and you can progress them to 10. Alright guys, we're almost there. We're gonna move on to bear dog movement. This core exercise routine, it's a brilliant exercise that if you're suffering from L4, L5, L5S1 disc bulges or sciatica pain, this can challenge your core. This is a progression level of the bear dog. I'm gonna show you how to do it and you can give it a try. Now, if you watch the first 2 versions of the bear dog that I show you in the last 2 videos, you're basically gonna, in this video, challenge it with a little bit of a trick. I'm gonna show you how to do it and you can give it a try. You're gonna be on quadruped position, hands underneath of your shoulder, knee underneath of your hip, and you keep your back maintained straight in a neutral position. You're gonna bring opposite hands and knee up, and then you're gonna bring them together. Up and together. Up. 3, 4, and 5. Slow down, take your time, make sure breathing in and out. Change side. Up. 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 4 and 5. And control. Back again and relax. As you can see, the aim of this exercise is not about how many times you do or how quick you do. It's all about that control in your lower back. You're basically alternating your right and your left side from upper body to lower body, and that can be a great challenge for your basically your lower back and your core strength. If you're suffering from L4, L5, L5S1 disc bulges or sciatica pain, this can be a really great challenge for your core. Give it a try and let me know how you're getting on. We are going to move on to hip bridge toe touch, which is a great exercise for your posterior, basically chain. And if you're suffering from L4, L5, L5S1 disc bulges or sciatica pain, this exercise can build up your glute muscle strength. Also, it can engage your core while you're doing this movement. I'm going to show you how to do it and you can give it a try. You're going to be in basically hip bridge position, which means you're going to be on hands underneath of your shoulder, foot underneath of your knee, and what we're going to do alternate foot and hands up. While you're doing this, you want to engage your core, minimize any shake, and touch your toes. We're going to start with 10 touch. 5, 6, as you can see, I'm doing it pretty slow and controlled. 8, slower the better, and 10. Now, while you're doing this exercise, as soon as you do it, you can feel how much shake you have in your lower abdominal, and that basically can help you to understand how much you're using your core in this movement. Now, to get this movement the best, you gotta breathe in and out, practice maybe both with 3 sets of even 5 or 7 touch, and slowly progress them to 10. The last exercise that we're gonna do in this routine, guys, is gonna be side plank. There's a great exercise if you're suffering from L4, L5, L5S1 disc bulges or sciatica pain. I'm gonna show you how to do it and you can give it a try. Side plank is basically a great exercise for you to activate your core, but at the same time you're activating your gluteus muscle. You're gonna be on the sideline, your elbow gotta be underneath of your shoulder. You have a choice to do it in basically long plane, which means your foot in a straight position. You can bring them up, hold them there for 1, 2, and 3. Slow control down, up, 1, 2, and 3. Slow control down, back up one more round, 1, 2, and 3. Slow control down. If you find the full length of the leg is a little bit difficult for you and you shake too much, you can simplify it for a while. It's kind of like getting a bit of assistance from the other leg. Same thing you do, just you bring the top legs in a basically diagonal position and get a little bit of help from that leg. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's go back up again. 1, 2, 3. You're still pushing through this hip and try to slightly get a little bit of help from there. I'm going to show you another different version of basically way or a short lever. You can try this if you find that is very easy. 3, 2, and relax. Back up again. 3, 2, and relax. You can feel all of these muscles has to be tense and work. You can try this with 3 sets of let's say 3 to 5 repetitions each side, and slowly build them up to 5 to 8 repetitions. Well done, guys. I hope you guys find this basic routine challenging enough. We're gonna move on to our cool down routine. That's gonna be a couple of stretches to loosen up your lower back and your hip and give you a bit of movement. I'm gonna start with the baby pose, which is one of a simple but one of my favorite stretches for the body. You're gonna sit back on your hip and we're trying to basically relax the arms as far as you can. You wanna breathe in and out. While you're here, your lower back is relaxed. You don't want to hold any tension there. You want to breathe in and breathe out. You're gonna move on to one side, stretch the right side, and if you find your knees are not comfortable in this position, you can put some cushion underneath, like a pillow, extra foam, and breathe in and breathe out. From this position, you're going to spend as much as you want on that child pose position. You're going to go to the pigeon stretch, which is a great exercise and stretch for your hip muscle. Go down, breathe in. This is a great hip opener. Now, I've done this before. If you haven't done it, you can stay even in this angle and you still feel it on your hip. You can try this in both legs. Stay from there. Yeah, this side I can feel it more on my left side. And if I find it is easy, I can go down. In and breathe out. Now, you can practice these two stretches for 5 to 8 basically minutes, no matter how much, it depends on how much you have time. Now we're going to move on to basically a bit of hip and lower back stretch, which is the hip side drop. You're going to lie down on your back, open up your hands, and you're going to drop your both knees down to one side. This is a great stretch for your lower back and your hip, and it kind of easing up the whole lower back area. You can stay there for a few seconds, then you change side. Breathe in and breathe out. And breathe out. Practice the same thing again. Other side. Breathe out. Try the same thing. As you can see, when you do them more, you actually get more mobility. Try this exercise, guys. A little bit more time. Depends on how much time you have. You can practice them over and over again. If you're suffering from L4-L5, L5-S1 disc bulges, or sciatica pain, I'm going to share with you 3 important tips that you have to follow to minimize your recurrence of your injury. The first tip is that you gotta basically be patient with your rehabilitation plan. If you're following these 3 exercises routine that I gave you in my channel, you gotta be patient with progressing them from beginner to intermediate and progressing them from intermediate to advanced routine. In reality, in many cases, people need around 3 to 4 weeks to progress them from beginner routine to intermediate. And for that matter, I would definitely suggest you to spend that much time and slowly build up that progression, and don't jump to something that you can't do or your body doesn't feel comfortable to do it. That matter can give you a chance to adapt to the exercises step by step and minimize the recurrence. The second tips that I would like to share with you guys is that in many cases, people try to do this exercise randomly, which means do them for a week and then they rest and they feel better and they think, okay, everything is good, and they go back to their activity. I would definitely suggest to be consistent with these exercises, which means even though if you feel good and your back is totally pain-free, I would add on this exercise as part of my daily habits, which means in my week, at least I'll try to do them once or twice, or some cases at least 3 times a week. That will give your body a chance to basically stay active, feel stronger, and you feel confidence pretty much physically and mentally. The last tips that I would like to share with you guys is that if you find certain type of activity bothers your back, you need to modify those activity on a daily basis. which means if you find driving for 2 hours creates some sort of stiffness and pain in your lower back, you gotta minimize those driving basic activity and create some sort of break while you're driving, which means after 45 minutes or 15 minutes, stop somewhere, go for a quick walk, or maybe on a petrol station, go for a cup of coffee and then sit back. Or if you know that sitting in the office for more than, let's say, an hour bothers your back, you need to create a break after, let's say, half an hour and go for a walk and come back. That will give you a chance to your body to basically don't get seized up or tighten up and give you a chance to basically minimize those flares up. These tips are very important for you while you actually following these exercises and give you a chance to minimize the flares up in your lower back. I hope you guys find this routine and the tips that I share with you in this video helpful. If you have any question regarding back pain, sciatica pain, or disc bulges, feel free to leave me comments and I will definitely respond to those questions. Make sure to subscribe my channel for my weekly update and don't forget to press that like button. Until next week, all the best.